Film fans, let's talk about the Arrow Video April 2026 set of releases. It's a pretty good month for them. I've really been impressed with the variety they've had lately, starting with a very popular John Woo film, The Killer, from 1989, that's getting a UK release. I love this director. I think he's very talented. There's this guy who's a hitman, and his job takes him on a wrong turn during a shootout at a lavish nightclub. He accidentally blinds a singer by firing his gun too close to her eyes, and that seems to be a cause of some rancor. A former boss betrays him, and there is an unexpected helping hand from a hot-headed police detective, Li Ying. Seems like a strong film. Again, I have liked this director in the past, so I'm looking forward to that. The second release, The Day of the Locust, 1975, a UK release. This painter is working in an art department and in a movie studio during the 1930s golden age of Hollywood. I think that in and of itself makes this attractive to me. And he falls in love with this woman, Faye Greener, played by Karen Black from Five Easy Pieces. That's a really good Jack Nicholson film if you've never seen it. And he has to compete for her affection against a few other different people, including Donald Sutherland, who plays a forlorn accountant. Of course, Donald Sutherland, here it's mentioning, was in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, terrific actor. And I'm sure this is a good, maybe a character study. The career fails to take her beyond roles as an extra, and things become more desperate, and it is a bitter critique of Tinseltown's empty promises and the lost souls cheated by them. With good cinematography, it says. I think the cinematographer, it says, was Conrad Hall, who did In Cold Blood, and I've not seen that film, but that's something that's been on my list for a long time. So I like it. I like where that's going, but something I'm very excited for that I have read is not too different from Lady Snowblood or some of those kinds of films, with a gorgeous set of artwork. These two films in the Wandering Ginza Butterfly collection. There are two of them. In the first one, there is a character who returns to Tokyo after a stint in prison for killing a Yakuza boss, and she settles in, living in a pool hall, and then some bad things happen. And in the sequel, she's paired up with Sony Chiba, at his most charismatic as the streetwise, can't pronounce the name, Ryua, who takes a shrine to Nami and decides to help her quest for vengeance for her father. That's what I'm reading here. I don't know anything about the film, so you have to bear with me. I'm just looking at my notes, but I mean, I love the artwork. I love the theme. Like I said, I have heard connections to Lady Snowblood, which is a great film in the Criterion Collection. This does sound up my alley. And what I'm really got a little tickled by, something that I do think I'm going to pick up the more I've looked at it. It looks like a screwball action-adventure sci-fi comedy. I recently watched All That Heaven... There's a film in the Criterion Collection called All That Heaven Allows. There is a Todd Haynes film called Far From Heaven with Dennis Quaid. And he is living in the closet with his wife, and that causes friction, obviously, in their marriage. And since that film, and then, of course, in The Substance, I've really been more into Dennis Quaid. All that to say that there's a film called Inner Space from 1987, the year I was born, with a pilot who's about to make history as part of a scientific experiment where he's going to be shrunken down and injected into the body of a rabbit, but he finds himself in the body of a grocery store clerk, I think. Martin Short, good actor there from the TV show Merlin, turned movie that I've talked about before that I would actually like to see in the Arrow collection. He has to find stolen tech that will get him back to his regular body before the bad guys extract him by force. It's supposed to be witty and charming with Oscar-winning visual effects. I like what I have heard of it. This looks like one I'll probably pick up. Now, from 2002, the fifth release is called The Eye. So I have not heard of this Pang Brothers, but they had a film called Bangkok Dangerous. I have heard of that. And they worked on a few different things. So there's a blind musician, Wong Kar-moon, Angelica Lee, has her eyesight restored following a cornea transplant, and she discovers the beauty of the world around her. And she becomes plagued with visions. She sees a psychiatrist, but there's skepticism because the visions may not just be hallucinations. That sounds really interesting to me. Some psychological terror here, maybe? I don't know. If you all know anything about inner space, you'll have to tell me it's something I've not inner space. What was this film? Not inner space. The Eye. The Eye. And one that looks fun to me. A lot of fun. I love Kurt Russell. I love him in this film. It's a beautiful 4K of Escape from New York. I have a copy there in my closet of Big Trouble in Little China. So the director, Paul W.S. Anderson, not to be confused with the Boogie Nights director, he was coming off of Mortal Kombat and Event Horizon. I haven't seen Event Horizon, but I want to see Event Horizon. And so he works on this sci-fi adventure thriller thing. So Kurt Russell is a veteran in a long line of soldiers who become like killing machines, but then there's a new line of like better soldiers. And so as a result of that, this soldier, who I guess is played by Kurt Russell, has to overcome all of the ramifications of that. Packed with spectacular special effects and gripping set pieces, is an underseen gem that didn't do super well on Letterboxd. It doesn't have the best ratings, but I think it sounds fun to me. Almost sounds like Terminator 1 getting replaced by Terminator 2, right? If you've ever seen those films. So I don't know. I'm excited for the releases. I am very tempted to pick up Inner Space, but I would probably watch all of these, especially that one set of films that I don't know very much about, the Wandering Ginza. I think that's going to be a long-term big hit for them, if I had to guess. But those are just my thoughts on the Arrow video. I wanted to share a little bit with you. If you like the content today or have anything you can share, I'm a little bit more unfamiliar with these titles, please let me know in the comments, and we'll see you next time on Cody in the Cinema.